Good morning, Kenneth.
Yes, good morning to you all people in the studio and our listeners and viewers from wherever you are. I'm Modele Kenneth live here in Sorot City. We are discussing issues, elections, and now the presidential campaigns are hitting about 6 days since we started the presidential aspirants started the campaigns. And today we are discussing issue of elections with the president and the candidate for Alliance for National Transformation, General Mugisha Muntu. General, good morning.
Good morning.
You are most welcome to Morning at NTV.
Thank you.
Kindly tell us, how are the campaigns?
Campaigns are going on steadily. As you've indicated, we've been in it now for 65 days. We've covered, we've been to a significant number of sub-regions. Toro sub-region, Bunyoro sub-region, Ankole sub-region, Choli sub-region, Lango sub-region, now we're in Tel sub-region, which we're exiting tomorrow. We'll be in Sebe sub-region, then Isu, then Kedi, then Soga. Then we turn around, go to West Nile, then go down the west, and then do this in December, and then we'll be done.
So, General, what are some of the cross-cutting issues the electorates have raised up? I know you have interacted with them across the regions you have so far been.
Joblessness of the youth, deep levels of poverty, lack of drugs in all government facilities at the different levels, corrupt. The sale of this few jobs, which there's no district where we've been so far. What people don't complain that even the few jobs which are available at the local government level, they are all for sale, literally, because whoever has to get a job, if they don't have a relative or someone who knows it, then the only option left is that they have to bribe. That, of course, is at the national level, at the departmental level, or our government institutions. The same thing. So that's common. And the water bodies, the problem with the army and the lakes. There is no lake where we've been so far, be it Albert, Lake George, and Edward in the west, Lake Victoria, and Lake Choga here in Lambo and Tesos. Fishermen are complaining about harassment, about their boats and nets being taken, and the only way we can get them back, and the times fishermen who are arrested, is to bribe. So it's a disease which cuts across different sectors. Then there are areas which are near national parks. We found it in Kitgum side because of Kidepo. We found it in western side, districts which are close to Queen Elizabeth, and also in Chibare, Game Reserve, and Matcham Falls in Woya and Amur. There, the challenge is elephants, which invade people's crops, and failure by the regime to put their electric fencing and also digging trenches. So that is specific to those areas. And poor roads, mostly when you get off the tarmac. Even in the areas where they've got some of the best tarmac road networks, like in Bunyoro, because of the oil roads. The moment you get off the tarmac and you go inside, some of the roads are simply a nightmare, like in Kagadi, like in Chibari. Then there are areas like Pader and Gago, where some of the places you couldn't even reach because of the road networks. Basically, and of course, low levels of education, low pay for government workers, and those who are pensioners not being able to get their pension. Some have never, others it is through hustling. So those are some of the issues which are common to the places where you go to, and some specific particular areas. Then you come to an area like Teso and Lango and Choli sub-region, but there's still the issue of the compensation and restocking. Those are specific to these particular places. So, but what I've also found, which is something that is very, very, very complicated and is a challenge and is the result of people finding themselves surrounded by all these number of challenges, is the breakdown of the spirit to fight. Many people have been plunged into a state of hopelessness, and therefore a significant number of people have almost given up. It's almost like there's nothing good which can happen in their lives, which is really something quite frightening. And also connected to that, which again is also sad, the breakdown of the dignity of the people. Because those of us who are old enough would know a time when people really would do their own thing, be able to engage in economic activities, be able to get resources to help them and their own families. And therefore, you'd find many people living in a state of dignity. You'd hardly ever meet people begging. Now, what is sad and almost it's when you go into areas and you find elders normally are supposed to be pillars of society. They're the ones who are supposed to give hope because normally they are models for the younger people. They're the ones who are able to do things in such a way, in dignified ways, give advice, build strength in communities. So when you go places and you find they have been broken down to the point where in a number of places you find them in the state of drunkenness, and then you find that they have lost that sense of, the main result. They have to beg. That's where you really get to understand that Gen 7 has broken down this country.
So, we've been talking about the issue of poor roads in some parts of the country. Has this affected your campaign schedule in one way or the other?
In one place that happened, it was because of bad roads, the place we couldn't reach in Agago and Padea. That area. Elsewhere, we've been able to maneuver through the roads much as they've been very, very problematic.
So, General, what could be the remedies to some of these problems you have highlighted?
Discipline at the national level. Also the skills to fight and eliminate corruption. For example, ensure there are systems of justice which function, ensure that there is fairness, ensure that there is transparency in the management of national resources. It's not very difficult to turn around this country, much as many people seem to have lost hope. Once you have a team of dedicated men and women who care for the country, who care for people, it's easy to reverse this. Because the country basically is well endowed, rich, fertile soil, almost everywhere you go, good climate, and the riches under the soil. I mean, we've got all forms of minerals. Some of them which have been discovered of recent. I keep talking about the rare earth. There's also gold deposits all over. So it's possible once you have a team that is able to manage well the national resources. The difficult aspect in manufacturing,
Yes, General.
service industries, what is going to be tough is working people in the recovery process of their dignity and raising their hope in them. That's going to be tough.
So, General, what do you have for now for the country when you sail through Kamu 2026?
It is the will of God and the people trust us that we have the message and also have the experience and the skills to country in political, economic, as well as social aspects. First thing you start off with, we've said this over and over, I repeat this one, you start with a team. Once you get a team of dedicated men and women who are corrupt-free, who care about the country, who care about people, that's the first step. You've literally done 50% of whatever else you are going to do. Because implementation is a big anything that you are going to implement in a manifesto. If it's not backed up by men and women of that nature, not going anywhere.
Yeah, thank you very much, General, for the time we have given us. And lastly, how many MPs do you have?
We fielded 30. Biggest challenge, of course, was the resources.
Okay, thank you for honoring our invite.
Okay.
And that is all what we have for you.